How are friends? The businessman who is now the richest man in the world with $2 billion. How did he earn his first $1 million? And then you might think he's a modern phenomenon. But Elon Musk acquired X.com 24 years ago because it's a very interesting story. In 1995, when Elon Musk and his brother Kimball Musk were moving from Canada to America, they began to notice something significant in the business directories. It was a yellow book. The yellow book contained listings of all the businesses in the city, along with phone numbers and advertisements. By that time, Elon Musk had already studied physics and business at the University of America. He had also learned coding, but the reality was that he had learned most of it under his own guidance. He had very little practical application of university education. The 90s was a period when every business in America was eager to quickly shift online. The internet was becoming more common, and there was a lot of buzz around it. In such circumstances, Elon Musk, along with his brother Kimball, decided to create an online business directory. The plan was to include all the business addresses in the city, along with details of the services provided by each business. All these details would be available on the website. Elon envisioned that with just one map, all the businesses in the city, then the entire country, and eventually all businesses worldwide would be covered. People could zoom in on the map, and zooming out, they would also explore their way and reach potential business addresses. The advantage for Elon in this plan was that online maps already existed. They just needed business addresses, meaning the entire yellow pages that were to be put into the directory. Initially, they approached the president of the company that printed yellow pages for investment and proposed to make him their partner. But upon hearing both sides, the president of the Toronto Star, which printed yellow pages, saw skepticism in their proposal and sarcastically asked, "Are you really thinking of replacing this? Can you bring something better?" It was a serious denial, meaning they couldn't get the investment. They had to find business themselves in the market, run their kitchen, and also give most of their time, part-time or more, to this online map business directory. For this, they rented a small room in Palo Alto, California. There were only 2 working desks and a bed for sleeping. For the first 6 months, Elon and his brother Kimball worked in this office, and even slept there. To take a bath, they used the nearby YMCA Young Men's Christian Association office. Elon Musk coded day and night, and Kimball, along with his work, also had a passion for cooking, so he would cook food as well. Sometimes a client would come, and before their arrival, Elon's team would forcefully make him leave. They would be asked to leave and go to the YMCA for a bath and then return to the meeting so that they could look a bit human. Anyway, Elon and Kimball, with their small team, finally created the Online Maps directory. This site is no longer available, but its archive model exists. You can see how on a website, whatever type of work you're looking for, whether it's a business, a vendor, you can type it in and search for it. And the web directory option in the search brings up all business-related addresses and their locations, allowing you to open them. Then, you could start your journey by opening the map of where you want to go. It was easy to see a location on the map, whether small or large, by zooming in and out. Zooming in and out seems very common today, but in 1996, when Google was still in its infancy, when the online directory was created, they completed all the business paperwork and decided to name it Zip2. The name Zip2 was actually Kimball Musk's choice because he had his own saying behind it, like if you want to go to the market, zip to the market. If you want to go to a restaurant, zip to the restaurant. So, based on these first 2 alphabets, he named the company. Elon Musk was very attached to this name. He told his brother to change it. There would be a big fight. There was so much fighting between the 2 brothers that once they ended up wrestling on the floor of the small office. Elon started hitting Kimball, and Kimball retaliated by hitting Elon's hand so hard that he had to move back. Screaming, Elon got a big cut on his hand. He had to go to the hospital to get stitches and also had to get an injection. Despite Elon's fury, Kimball eventually persuaded him because he was handling business deals those days, so his word also mattered. As soon as Zip2 was completed, they started looking for investors. They prepared a color presentation, printed its prints, and showed it to venture capitalist Moore Davidow. He liked it and decided to invest $3 million, becoming their partner. Zip2's rafters then gradually started to fill up with partners coming in, and now they were selling their services to weddings and local directories. Different business people would advertise on it, and these ads would come through weddings. For this, they started making deals from Akbarat, ranging from $1,000 to $5,000. Deals started with big magazines like the New York Times and Pulitzer taking memberships and marketing it through their marketing teams. Akbarat started to gain traction. It was a fantastic win-win deal. For this success, they gained fame in Silicon Valley too. The same president of the Toronto Star who had embarrassed them and thrown the Yellow Pages directory at them then called the Musk brothers. He humbly asked if they would now make him their partner. Both said yes. This was in 1997. After this, the real story begins. Just after a short while of Zip2's success, Elon Musk started fighting with his team, partners, and newly recruited CEOs. In other words, Elon Musk versus the rest. He wanted to make Zip2 a public product, not just a platform for weddings and other companies by charging membership fees. He had no dream of making it like the famous search engines of that time, Yahoo and AOL. He wanted to stand up like public companies, but this dispute continued, and no decision could be made. The company continued to make some progress, and its subsidiary companies kept forming. However, partners kept coming and going, including Musk brothers. Eventually, the shares owned by Elon Musk and Kamal Musk were reduced to 12%. What did the other shareholders do? They stripped Elon Musk of the CEO seat. This was the first time Elon was not the CEO of his new company. In 1999, a time came when the interim CEO of Zip2, Direct Prodine, called Elon into his office and explained to him, "You are only 28 years old, and this is your first company. In my opinion, you should look for an acquirer who buys potential businesses. Sell this company, start a new business with the proceeds, then sell that company, then start the third, fourth, and fifth companies. Don't just stick to Zip2." These words struck Elon's heart. He assigned the task to the CEO Prodine to find a good acquirer himself. Prodine found a buyer in January 1999, just 4 years after Zip2's launch. A buyer was found, a bidder. A buyer acquired it. He called Elon and Kamal and said that AltaVista wanted to buy Zip2. AltaVista was one of the big companies that had already become a search engine, but now it wanted to add Maps features to it. So, Zip2 was the perfect option for them. They made a bid of $307 million. Elon and Kamal were shocked to hear such a big amount because there were only $200,000 in their account at that time. Both brothers immediately said yes, and they received the majority share of 60% to Elon and 40% to Kamal at $37 million. This $37 million was $3.70 crore. Elon Musk says that when $2.2 million came into his account that day, the total amount became $2,205,000, and this was such a strange ecstasy for him that he had never imagined before. The way Musk used this huge amount, how he used it, also reflects many aspects of his personality, and it also makes him. For example, he sent a part of this amount, $300,000, with an open heart to South Africa for his father, then transferred $1 million to his mother in Canada. After this, he bought a multi-million-dollar house in Palo Alto. He purchased a flat in a luxury building spanning 1,800 square feet for $1 million. He also bought a McLaren F1 sports car, which was the fastest car at the time and perhaps the most expensive too. What was crucial was that at that time, there were only 62 McLaren F1 cars in the world, and one of them came into the possession of Elon Musk, a 28-year-old entrepreneur from Silicon Valley. When a big trailer came to deliver this car, Elon Musk's manager, Justin Wilson, and the CNN filming team were also present. Elon Musk deliberately gave the address in front of the YMCA office where he used to go for a shower for many days and slept on the floor near his office because he did not have the money to stay in a separate flat or attached bath flat. This extremely expensive car and becoming a millionaire at such a young age transformed Elon's values. Now, an imperialist spirit had arisen in him who wanted to earn more and expand the business further. Elon himself admitted this and said that he did not understand it before, but the valuation of his wealth really changed significantly after receiving this huge amount for the first time. Now, look, a few days ago, there were only $2,000 in his account, and now he was dreaming of starting a multi-trillion-dollar company. For this company, he registered the domain name. You know what it was? X.com. Yes, X.com was registered by him 25 years ago today. Collaborating is an old habit of Elon's. You know, one of his children is also named X. Anyway, in 1999, he had become the owner and CEO of his new company X.com because now he was learning that if he wants to run his company according to his vision, then he will have to take on the role of not only the owner, but also the CEO alongside the mentor exercises. Otherwise, he will have to go through continuous futile mentor exercises with the CEO. Indeed, the story of this company X.com in July 1999 is also very interesting. In fact, as soon as Zip2 was sold, he was lost in banking and economics books for weeks. The economy and world banking had become his new hobby. After understanding the system, Elon Musk began telling his friends that in reality, economics and business transactions are just written records and numbers. If all businesses and accounts of the world were in one place and people trusted this place, then no one would withdraw their money from the system. That is, both the buyer and the seller would only be dealing with numbers in one place. But the system on which this money would be, that system and that company would become $1 trillion company from $1 million company. For example, if one person needs to transfer $10 million to another and both of them are present in the same online banking system, then it means that there is no difference in the company's deposit. And the deals of both people also happen in a few moments without wasting time. Elon's plan was to make X.com into such a company. Remember, we are talking about 1999, 25 years ago today, when there was only dial-up internet, which involved connecting the telephone cable to the CPU and providing a password for a few hours of internet usage. Every phone company issued a 16-digit password card, which provided internet access for a few hours based on the price. Some people also had business cable nets, but their speed did not exceed 20-25 kilobytes per second. Nowadays, you know that fiber optics are being used, and an internet user can download data at 1 gigabit per second. This speed has increased 35,000 times more than that of 1,999 in percentage terms. At that time, we are using fast internet 35 lakh percent more than in 1999. At that time, it took several seconds and sometimes minutes to load each web page, and if there were graphics, then, well, let's just say it took even longer. In 1999, Elon Musk wanted to consolidate all the financial systems of the world in one place, X.com. Elon was so passionate about this project that he immediately invested his $12 million, that is, $12 million in it. It's evident that he had confidence in his idea, and the idea was indeed fantastic. However, his partners and team had a lot of doubts about the system's name, X. They said it was a vulgar entertainment. The name of the site could be simple, but the name of a serious business platform should not be like that. Elon Musk thought that the name should be easy to remember, easy to type, and if the name becomes famous for any reason, then what's wrong with that? To make X.com successful, Musk took advantage of the best banking branches in the market, gave them shares, and told his team that X.com would be launched on the Thanksgiving weekend before 99 ends. Team members criticized Musk severely for this because they knew that after giving such unrealistic deadlines, Elon Musk himself would work like an animal day and night. Tired, he would lie down on this very computer table and make others work in the same way. And this is exactly what happened. Elon often called back engineers who had gone home because someone was tired and fell asleep, and so the others had to come and replace them. The team was so stressed by this behavior that many close friends started leaving it. For example, his roommate from Queens College and his lifelong best friend, Naveed Farouk, left after just 6 weeks of work and said, "Either I can be his friend or I can work with him. Both things are not possible together." Elon's brother Kimball also left it and started his chef business. As you know, Elon Musk would descend into wrestling or even physical violence over small things. Elon's close companions attribute this to the fact that he was the CEO of a startup, Steve Jobs, and Amazon Flex. Now, whatever you think, X.com did manage to launch with its team working like animals and Elon himself on the Thanksgiving weekend. Carrying X's debit card, his entire team reached the ATM machine in the morning to test it. They inserted it into the machine, entered the password, and when the machine rattled with the counting of notes and dollars came out, the whole team celebrated, ate, drank, and now it was time for holidays. X.com was launched, but Elon Musk wanted to use it not just for finance, but for everything, as his vision was X for everything. He started designing it for social messaging as well. He began using weird grip techniques to make it acceptable. He announced that whoever creates an account on X and brings their 4 friends will get so much free credit. He kept the interface of X simple and kept the account creation process minimal, requiring only the home address and social security numbers, deleting all other unnecessary details. He said that everyone already has a unique email address and that's enough. His vision was that there should be minimal typing required for an X account so that more and more people could open accounts. He was able to do it for the first time, that account holders can only transfer dollars from one account to another through email. This feature, which seems quite simple, gave X a lot of clients and much acceptance. When Elon Musk was doing all this, he realized one day that in the building of Palo Alto, California, where his office was on one floor, there was another office that was also doing e-commerce business, ensuring online payments, handling accounts, and working in competition. One of the founders of this company, Peter Thiel, had created an account on X.com from where Elon Musk then tracked him. This competition and the companies were both aware soon that this race would either ruin both of them or one definitely would be ruined, because this isn't the kind of race where one company becomes number 1 and the other survives on number 2. Rather, one will definitely finish, be ruined, go bankrupt, the banker will win. So both started to lean towards a very logical solution. Why not merge both companies and create a very big company so that no one can stand against them again, and both can certainly survive and also succeed in making money. For this, the new CEO of X.com, Bill Harris, and founder Elon Musk had a meeting at a restaurant in Palo Alto with the founders of PayPal, Peter Thiel and Max Levchin. Now, it seemed very strange here. Both parties exchanged their notes in this meeting and told who has how much assets and how many clients, etc. In this meeting, Elon Musk was getting a lot more clients and assets while working with his unconventional approach. When Thiel asked Musk on what terms should we merge these two companies, Musk straightforwardly said, "It's simple. The 90% of this joint company's shares should be split 90 to 90. The holder will be me. The remaining 10% you guys can decide among yourselves." Hearing this response, Peter Thiel and Max Levchin couldn't believe their ears for a moment whether Elon Musk had really come for a business meeting or if he had a mission to embarrass them. So, this meeting ended without reaching any conclusion. But both still felt the remaining realization that if a merger wasn't done, then one of them would certainly be ruined, and whoever survived would also have lost a lot. Consequently, despite this compulsion, the series of meetings continued. The credit for this goes to the primary investor of Credit.com, Michael Moritz, and CEO Bill Harris. Bill Harris tried to arrange another meeting in January 2000 at the office on Sand Hill Road. Now, it was necessary for Peter Thiel, the founder of PayPal, to reach this meeting, so Elon Musk had to give him a lift because both had to go from the same building. Elon took him in his first earnings McLaren F1 car. Thiel's misfortune was that he asked about the loan car on the way. "What's so special about this car?" The loan said, "Just wait and watch." He accelerated the car on the fast lane and pressed the accelerator fully. He drove the car so fast that its rear axle broke and the car started spinning at full force, then collided with the embankment on the side of the road and flew into the air like a molten gold. It was fortunate that Michael fell straight and both remained safe. The car, however, suffered significant damage. This accident made Peter Thiel understand two things. One, what McLaren's can do, and second, that Elon Musk is indeed a risk, and to what extent he can go to see the limit of anything. Thiel and Letchin couldn't go to that extent. Thiel somehow managed to open the McLaren's door and grabbed a taxi from outside, reaching the meeting alone. Here, he didn't tell anyone what had happened on the way. Elon Musk also arrived after a while. Everyone soon found out what had happened on the way, but the story of X.com and PayPal ended shortly. Finally, due to the stability of Max Levchin's health and Bill Harris's efforts, in March 2000, the merger of both companies was finalized. It was decided that the both parties will be 50-50 shareholders. The name of the payment system will be PayPal.com. Then, because Elon Musk would be the largest stockholder, he would be considered the owner of the company. As soon as the deal was finalized, Elon Musk joined forces with Max Levchin and got rid of his CEO, Harris, who had facilitated all these deals. Now Elon Musk was the CEO of this new merged company. You know that he had already decided to keep the CEO's seat with him in the previous company. After becoming CEO again, Elon once again attempted to make the company not only for payment systems, but also for everything like messaging, social media, networking, and maps. Then he was a cutthroat man, but despite his seriousness, he got ready for arm wrestling, ready to fight. As expected, he lost the bout. After losing, he said, "I may have lost, but still, the company's decisions are my wrestling result." Now it happened that Elon quietly started new coding with his team, keeping separate windows for the entire system, updating the company. He was banging on this and was doing difficult work. Now a fight started between the employees and shareholders of both companies. As usual, those days had become a routine. Then, there was a continuous string of fraudsters on the system, who understood the technical flaws of the system and were of negative mind, committing continuous financial frauds, which discredited the company. A case could also be filed on this. If at that time, apart from the PayPal system, there had been any good system, then PayPal would have ended at that time because progress was so slow. To get out of this mess, Max Levchin made a plan of rebellion. So, Levchin, along with his partner co-founder Peter Thiel and primary investor Michael Moritz, conspired to remove Elon from the CEO's seat. Now the plan was that as soon as Elon Musk went on honeymoon, these people would vote and snatch the CEO's seat from him. In September 2000, when Elon Musk went on vacation, during his vacation, which included watching the Olympics and conducting a few investment meetings along the way, Max Levchin had the company's employees sign a petition stating that the company was not being run properly under Elon's leadership and should be removed. After this, Peter Thiel was appointed as the interim CEO. At that time, Elon, who was traveling from London and Singapore to Australia, was informed that he had been dethroned and removed. It was evident that he was severely shocked. He wrote to us in the company that despite all the dedication and the cash earned from Zip2, he had invested everything in this company. Despite not giving me a chance to be heard, removing me abruptly is simply unfair. He also called the company's key investor, Michael Moritz, and urged him to reconsider the decision to remove him. When Michael didn't agree, Elon grabbed his ticket and boarded a plane back. He gathered his loyalists in the company and started lobbying with them. However, this lobbying effort was not successful. When the voting took place in September, he voted against it. Now, in a surprising turn of events, Elon, with his fervent zeal and vigor, stunned everyone by stating that he believed the company now needed a new professional CEO. He said he would be taking a 3 to 4 month break. After taking a break, Elon wanted to work on some new ideas so he could start a new company. He also mentioned at one point that this company was like his baby, his child, and he couldn't ruin his baby because of any quarrel. Elon seemed to be saying this, but in reality, he had become a victim of celebrity ego. He had become intoxicated with fame. He was actually trying to say that if he couldn't remain CEO, then he wouldn't, but the face of the company should still be him. That is, only he could be the spokesperson. He said he was the best spokesperson. When this condition was not accepted and the new CEO, Peter Thiel, refused to speak on behalf of the company. He was out. Despite being the biggest stockholder, Elon was once again left behind in his own company. It was true that many investors and partners in the company were not pleased with him, but his risk-taking ability was so remarkable that the company didn't want to lose him. Everyone acknowledged Elon's quality. An example of this was when the company's ejector once said that once, while playing cards in Texas, Elon didn't know how to play the cards at all. He didn't remember the cards, nor was he familiar with the claims page of the game. But he still picked up the cards and started playing with expert players. He would bet big on every hand, and of course, he would lose. But after every loss, he would start a new game with double the stakes, and then lose again. After several complete losses, he won a game by chance, and all the lost money came back to him. At that moment, Elon got up, brushed his hands, and said, "That's all I wanted to play." This incident and his style of play are a perfect example of Elon's business mindset. He was living his life the same way, taking risks, increasing stakes, and continuing to raise them until he had full control of the game. However, Elon's negotiations with Peter Thiel did not go well. But in July 2002, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion. Elon received $2 million as part of the deal, which was a huge sum after the initial $22 million. This brought Elon into the big leagues of Silicon Valley players. Elon pocketed the $2 million and, along with Lev Chin, walked out to the parking lot. He asked Lev Chin, "Why did you succeed in overthrowing me? Why did you conspire against me?" Lev Chin, who came to America from Ukraine to do business, was already intimidated by Elon's tough demeanor. He said, "Because I thought you were really on the wrong path. Saving the company required removing you as CEO. In my opinion, it was very necessary. Life is too short. Let's move on." Elon ended the conversation in 2 sentences. He also did the same with Peter Thiel and Michael, saying in essence that he had recently seen death up close and turned back. Music. It was like this that when he was removed from the CEO's ship, he went to Brazil for a few days, then to his maternal home in South Africa. There he had to attend a relative's wedding. He hadn't been to South Africa in 17 years. This place used to haunt him before, so he left. But this time, something happened that this place literally cut him off, such that he contracted malaria during his few days in South Africa. The most dangerous virus, falciparum, was identified when Elon Musk reached Palo Alto in the United States. It was January 2001 when he had reached his office. He began to feel severe weakness and his ears started ringing. During the hospital tests, it was discovered that his white blood cells were significantly elevated. Doctors initially treated him for viral fever and then for typhoid fever, but his condition worsened instead of improving in the next few days. It deteriorated to the point where he couldn't even stand. He was taken to the doctors again, where it was noted that his pulse was also extremely difficult to detect. Infectious disease specialists examined him and were alarmed to find that Elon had contracted the most dangerous type of malaria, falciparum. It was in this hospital where a few days earlier, 2 patients had been admitted with the same illness and both had died. Elon had taken out a life insurance policy worth $100 million, with $10 million for himself. The company was supposed to receive this amount in the event of his sudden death, meaning if he filled it, the company's entire missile inventory could be salvaged. Peter Thiel had even had an awkward discussion with the HR director about what to do with insurance and how to take it, but according to the doctors, Elon was just 24 hours away from reaching the stage where treatment for falciparum would be impossible. He had reached the hospital a little earlier, and now there was a slight chance of saving his life. Doctors kept him in the ICU for several days, administering injections into his chest to stop bacterial growth, and giving him heavy doses of doxycycline to fight the infection. Slowly but surely, Elon Musk turned towards life. In 5 months, he had fully recovered. This incident taught Elon 2 lessons. First, that South Africa and holidays, neither of these will ever suit him. The last time, during his honeymoon, he was removed from the CEO's ship, and this time he had faced death head-on. Well, months after this incident, when Elon was sitting by the swimming pool at a party, reading an old Russian rocket manual, when his friend Mark approached him. Mark asked, "What are you up to, Elon?" Elon replied, "I'm thinking about colonizing Mars, establishing a human colony on the planet. I want humanity to establish its culture on several planets." Mark looked at Elon in astonishment and said, "Chimpy, where are your bananas, dude?" But the thing was, Elon was serious and speaking the truth. It was from here that his multi-billion-dollar company SpaceX began. SpaceX deals with space rockets and plans to settle humans on Mars. Well, let's talk about this in the next vlog. See you, friends.